I just wanted to pop on here real quick. We had a little flub up yesterday with our live stream when we had August Worley on. Well, I guess it wasn't yesterday. The days are just
I know,
evading me
right?
right now. It was a Wednesday during our live stream, but we had a 7-minute tone up session with August Pyradym, and my fault. I actually deleted him from the scene, so you guys weren't listening to anything during the session. So I had a couple people mention that during the chat, and I was like, "Well, I can hear it, and Charlie could hear it. We could all hear it. You guys couldn't hear it." So I apologize for that, but we figured we'd have August come back on so you guys can really feel the power of the Pyradym and what it's all about. So August, why don't you share what people are going to experience today with the Pyradym and the seven minute tone up session? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm just basically going to offer a just a sample session. And again, I call it the 7-minute tone up. It's one of the things you can do with Paradigm is you can go very deep into resonating certain aspects of things. But in this case, it's just a sort of a demonstration on the tonal range and some of the things that it can infer energetically and also physically. So if you look at the Paradigm panel, we're going to put the graphic up of the instrument. And so, we're basically moving from left to right across the panel. We're going to focus on each one of the chakras for 1 minute. And there is a timer. So I'm going to set the timer on 1 minute intervals, and it's just going to automatically walk through the various chakras. And on those different tonal ranges, I'm just going to, do a few things that I intuit that may be effective. Yeah, I just, would suggest that you just close your eyes and let the sound take you where it will. And it's all about resonance. So there's no such thing as good or bad resonance. It either resonates or it doesn't. And then sometimes if it does resonate, it may feel good, but if it feels uncomfortable, then you have a choice. You can either breathe into it 3 times because there may be a blockage there and try to release whatever the blockage is. Or if you don't want to deal with it at that point in time, or just don't want to deal with the discomfort, you can always turn your volume down. And then
Yeah.
because we will be cycling out of that uncomfortable tone in less than a minute. So when you see when you hear the pitch change, I would say not to take the volume down all the way, just kind of bring it down a little bit. And then when you hear the pitch change again, bring it back up to the volume that you had. So yeah,
Okay.
and again, just pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. How your body responds,
Yeah.
and you see any images or what have you, put them in, put them in the comments, and yeah, just enjoy the experience.
Yeah, so August is like he's like a master musician playing this. It's an instrument that he's playing that he created, that he designed. So
Yeah.
he's going to be operating the controls in certain ways and tweaking it on how he is inspired to do so through his intuition, pretty
Hmm.
much, right? And
Yeah.
we're going to be experiencing this healing session. And this is just a short version of what you can experience with Pyradym.
Hmm.
He says the standard ones are about half an hour long. Is that it?
Yeah, half an hour to an hour, depending on what the client wishes to
Okay.
have done. I mean, I just present it as a sonic massage. You can get a massage for half an hour or an hour, a chair massage, that
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing. How much you want to go into. And one of the things I also offer is that I know it sounds like a trite, slogan kind of thing, but it goes where it needs to go. And a lot of times it makes me seem a much better therapist than I really am, because it's just like I'm just sensing what I need to do with it, and it's exactly what your body needs to feel and hear. And again, I
Yeah.
just kind of do what I do.
Well, and who isn't struggling right now in the world? I mean, it's a crazy time that we live in. There's so much stress, so much trauma going on. And one
Hmm.
of the things that you mentioned that we could do during this session
Hmm.
as a collective, it's better, we're stronger if we're united, not divided. And there's so many
Yes.
things that are dividing us right now.
Hmm.
A August lives in Asheville, North Carolina, so it's right by the devastation, filled with all the trauma. It's what I think it was, I heard the other day, is it 167,000 homes were washed away during
Yeah.
Hurricane
Yeah.
Helene?
And there's still
Yeah.
over 1,000 people that are missing.
Yeah, and may even be more than that. You don't know, with people hidden up in the hills and where,
Yeah. Covered.
it's crazy. The numbers, we're being lied to about the numbers.
Hmm.
They're not being helped. There's still people living in tents there.
Hmm.
So much trauma, and it's kind of been forgotten by the mainstream news. So we need
Yeah.
to keep it
Yeah.
alive and keep the healing coming. So that's something we're going to do today. Pull that energy in, and
Absolutely. And, just realize there's only one of us here. It's all we're all in this together. There's only one of us here. And just, as you see some of the madness going on along the world, you can empathize with it, but realize that these things are occurring now at this point in time for a reason.
yeah,
So, and,
yeah.
uh, and the outcome is going to be good. I promise you that it's going to be a better outcome. So,
Yes, absolutely. So anybody is dealing with any types of traumas, we're seeing a lot of things going on in the world right now.
mhm.
You try to just, before you can really listen to what the universe has to say to you, you have to calm your mind. You have to quiet your mind. You have to open your heart. And it's hard to do that with the stress and the trauma that's going on. So
Mhm.
as long as you can do things like this, it'll help release that trauma and that energy, and you'll be able to listen, and
Yeah.
you'll be able to respond in a more calm manner,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So, well, let's get started, August.
All
This is
right.
exciting.
That sounds good. All right. So just close your eyes and get comfortable, feet firmly on the floor. Um, I always suggest breathing in deeply. Breathe in through your nose and slowly release it through your mouth. And get centered. And I'll bring up the paradigm. And just let the sound take you where it will. And it is very low tones that we're using, so you may not hear it, but you will feel it. can slowly come back now. You should feel a little bit expanded, yet grounded at the same time. And if you want to make some notes for yourself, maybe some things that you saw or heard, either images or words, communications. You may want to make a note of them for a future reference. And if you felt anything through the session, just allow those feelings to bubble to the surface. You are your feelings, so feel your feelings. That's what being human is all about. So how do we do, Lisa?
Very nice. That was very nice. Usually, when I have an energy session on like a live stream like this, I don't, I feel a lot of energy coming out of my hands, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting because it would move with when you were changing the tones, when it was like a wave, when it was going, roar, 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 I could feel my hands. Roar, roar. It was really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sound directs matter. So yeah, I feel very, very relaxed after doing that, because that's the best thing. When you give a session with Paradigm, you get a session as well. So it's a shared experience.
Yeah.
And I did, because of what we were talking about prior to that, I got into the third chakra, which is sort of where you store your fear,
Hmm.
and really tried to activate that and to get it churning. So one of the things you can do with Paradigm is you can work with dissonance and consonance, and so you can resolve and slide into dissonance and attract dissonance. And then again, we were the last time we were talking about heavy metal music and things like that. So it's that distorted guitar sound, that distortion is a very attractive quality to it, and that it can help to to get that energy moving. The
Yeah.
best part about doing that, though, is resolving it, though. So, and you can do that with Paradigm. So listening to heavy metal music all the time is great, but you always get into that agitated mode, and physiologically, you should try to resolve that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things you can do with Paradigm, is that you can work with dissonance. And then when you resolve that dissonance and get it all stirred up and get it moving and get it all attracted into a big ball of energy, then when you resolve into consonance, it emerges from your body as that
Yeah.
release sort of feeling.
That's what it felt like for me. It was kind of like a whirlwind, just building up, gathering
Mhm.
things, and it was collecting in my head. And
Yeah,
my head was really kind of stuffy. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, it just released everything.
yeah. And that's why I like doing it in the third chakra, because again, your fear center and all that, because the next one up from that is the heart chakra. So that, when you release that energy and you move into the heart space, and you can sort of, when I resolve into the consonants, you can kind of accept the love and the gratitude, and also the permission to allow that to release, and, allow yourself to feel those feelings.
Yeah, absolutely. What about this? I thought this was odd. As soon as you turned the machine off and I couldn't hear it anymore, that
Mm.
seemed to be the most powerful moment for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's, and again, that's why it's an instrument. It's the notes are the music, but the spaces between the notes are just as valuable. And so when that sound pressure wave, diminishes and goes away, then suddenly your body sort of re-expands. And I,
Hmm.
that's one of the things I being in contact with paradigm is always fun. That's why I always when I do a session, I always have my hand on it, because that way you can feel it throughout your body. Even if you just wear the headphones, you can feel it conducted throughout your body. So it's always really interesting that when it does resolve into silence, it allows your body's energy to just kind of pick up and reemerge. And I always feel, like I say, I always feel stretched. I still feel
Yeah.
grounded, but I also feel very expansive at the same time.
Yeah. It's like it cleaned up the old files in you and made
Yeah.
room for new ones.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's an attunement and it's at
Mhm.
oneness, So again, organizing your energy, using that fundamental property of coherent sound is very valuable.
I thought it was interesting too that usually if I'm listening to like I'll find meditations and stuff like that on YouTube or whatever and listen to them, but I have to wear my headphones in
Hmm.
order to really be submersed in it.
Yeah, yeah.
This I didn't have headphones on and it
Hmm.
was super powerful without it. I can imagine I need to try it with headphones now just to see how much more powerful it's going to be with the headphones.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Well, and again, your brain informs the rest of your body, and it is the interface, through with which your body physically feels, but it also is a connective point to the universal brain, if you will. Um, yeah, so and also one of the cool things you can do with headphones with Paradigm is you can use it as a local applicator. So, if you got a sore knee or something like that, you can take the
Oh.
audio out in a headphone jack and put it on your sore knee or on your tennis elbow or on your sore shoulder or whatnot.
Oh, I
But
didn't know that. That's interesting.
yeah, it's a lot of fun too.
Hmm. Wow, okay, that's really cool. Well,
Yeah,
thank you for coming back on and
yeah,
giving us another session. I really wanted people to experience it,
yeah,
this was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And again, they always put that out there to people. Again, at no time did my fingers leave my hand. And again, the only thing you do is just say, "How does this sound feel?" and adjust it accordingly. And when you get to that place where it's like, okay, there's the sound that I hear in my head. It's such an easy. It makes sound and physioacoustic therapy accessible and available and fun. And yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today and experiencing this with us, this powerful paradigm session. Welcome to August Worley. We thank him, and I'm sure he'll be back again soon. I think in January he's planning to come
that's
back
right.
with us again.
Yeah,
But remember, the power to heal, balance, and transform lies within us.
that's
So
right. It's
lots
all
of love
about
to
that.
you guys all.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.